Okay, it's 8:58. Welcome back, everyone, from your toilet break. So let's jump into our next session, which is the egg sharing session, Introduction to Godot Engine. And first, I would like to slightly introduce our speaker for tonight. Next slide, please. Yes, so our speaker, he is Stephen Samuel. He is experienced in game development for 2 years, and he is currently X-Text Development and Content Division. So without further ado, I'll pass the floor to Stephen, and you may begin.
Okay, hello everyone. My name is Steven Samuel, and today I'll be explaining to you about the Godot engine. Now, as you can see, what I'm currently right on my screen is there's no PowerPoint. This is just my browser. Yes, literally it's that. And you may be wondering, so what is Godot engine? So Godot engine is just another game engine, but there's a little bit of difference between Godot engine and every other game engines that you ever see. So first of all, this is the original website of where you can download the Godot engine, which is godotengine.org. You can type in there and you can already get into this website. And this website provides everything you need to know about the Godot engine. As you can see, Godot engine is still under development since it's in open source. There are some development snapshots of the next one, Godot 3.5, IF Beta 5, and the upcoming Godot 4.0 Alpha 8, which is what everyone is hoping for. They say Godot 4.0 is going to be better than Godot 3.0, so, but only time will tell of what's going to be up, what are the features that are going to add in the Godot 4.0. Now, you may be wondering, what's so special about the Godot engine? You see, it is a different way to make games. They have this own unique they have this own unique innovative design to explain how to create a certain scene. You take a look at this from just a screenshot. You can see that it seems like a node. So the main player here is the parent, like the root of it, and then there is his children. There's a sprite and a camera, and so others more. And within that sprite, there's actually more children, which are the smoke and bullet shoot. This is one simple scene create this node base, which is so easy for everyone to read. Next is that they have this unique, amazing 3D rendering system. Like the rendering system is pretty impressive. Like currently, there's so much 3D games made by Godot that people start using them. And we also, and if there's 3D, then they also have 2D. Yes, Godot engine can be made for both 2D and 3D games. They have this unique pixel coordinates. So if anyone's willing to make those pixelated games, which is actually a lot currently, or some retro designs, yes, Godot is one of the most advanced programming game engine to use. And of course, there's also the programming part. Yes, I know the programming may be difficult, but hear me out. Godot has three different unique kinds of coding. We have the very first one, which is using, I don't know, C Sharp or C++ or any other already existed programming languages, or we can just use the Godot's original coding language called, fuck, I forgot the name. Shit, I forgot the name of the GD script. Fuck, what is it? So yes, Godot has its own unique script called the GD script, and as you can see here, this is what it looks like. It looks so easy that even the baby can do it. Like, I mean, look at this. Extends ARIA2D, var taken equals false. This is like Python. It's so easy, even babies can do it. And if you can't do it, then you're an embarrassment. And the third option is if you just hate typing in the coding part, you can just always use visual scripting. As you can see right in the bottom here, it is the visual scripting of using Godot. It's just drag and drop, then connect here and connect there. It's actually that easy. Yes, Godot is easy to program. It is also very team friendly. From architecture and tools to VCS integration, it is designed for everyone. You can use GitHub, you can use Git, you can use Mercurial, you can use whatever this is. And of course, Godot is open source. It is open development. Anyone who wants to contribute to Godot is allowed. And you can even start from just by donating their own money and become their Patreon. Therefore, you can just donate their money to support the Godot to advance further and become better. And the best part of all is that because this is open source, it's free. Yes, Godot engine is actually free to buy, free to get. You can actually download. You can just always scroll up here. You can go to the click download, and you will be directed depending on what kind of computer you're having. You have Linux, we have Mac OS, we have Windows, we have Linux server. And here you can just click any one of them, especially you download the standard version. So therefore, once you click the standard version, you're just gonna immediately, it's gonna immediately get down like there. And if like this, you're just gonna immediately download it. And if you're thinking that you just have to get to this link, and if you crack it, don't worry. You can also get it on Steam. Like it exists on Steam too. It's free to play. Wait, why is it free to play? This is not a game. This is a game engine. And if you don't have any Steam, don't worry. They even have an itch.io page. Yes, Godot is actually this advanced. They already prepared everything. They already prepared on Steam. They already prepared on itch.io. They even prepared on their own website. They're so advanced, those who use Unity are nothing but boomers. Okay, maybe the last one's a bit too harsh. And here, you may be thinking that, oh, I'm just explaining about this Godot and I'm just going to end here. Wrong. I'm going to show you on how to use it. Because I actually already prepared it. Here I downloaded the Godot engine on Steam, and as you can see here, this is what the project manager looks like. It may seem small, don't worry. This is what's going to be look like. At start, this is what the whole screen looks like. It's going to be filled. If you download it on Steam, you're going to be bombarded with all of these stuff. These are none other than templates or already prepared projects on the from Steam itself, and yeah, there's already a lot of them. There's 2D particles, there's hierarchy finite state machine. There you can even a demo of creating a Japanese RPG game. Heck, there's even someone who actually created a voxel game. Like over here, and we're just gonna pretend that it's all empty. So I'm just gonna start by creating a new project. Let's call this and then if you can see, it's gonna need a project path. So you can just click here in the create folder. And once you create a folder, if you take a look inside the documents, there, it's already created. It's so handy that you don't even need to use right click and you just click new, and then you go to folder. You don't have to use it. Godot just did it all for you. And now here, the renderer system. I'm not gonna go detail about these two renders because they're both actually the same, but there are some limitations like OpenGLS is better like this, and OpenGLS 20.0 is better like this. But the point I'm trying to say here is that they're both the same. It's just difference is that in this version, Safari cannot be used. You can't use on Safari. So, for example, if you want to make a web game, sure, it's fine. But if you're using on Safari, then it's not gonna work. The web game is not gonna work. So it's best you go here. But fuck it, but you can just if you read it here, it says render can be changed later, but scenes need to be adjusted. So these two doesn't matter. So we just create an edit, and bam, it's like this. And you're all gonna be confused, like where do I begin from here? It's all empty. Well, you start here. These are called create a root node. And let's start with creating a 2D scene. This is what 2D looks like, and this is what 3D looks like. Let's try making a 2D. So first, for example, here you can see there's a lot of stuff. There's a lot of stuff for the nodes. There's spatial, there's control, there's no 2D. But you don't have to be too much worried. You just have to know this. Red means 3D, blue means 2D, green is for UI and UX, stuff like that. So yeah, just ignore anything else. Well, not ignore everything, but I'm just gonna point out some of the important parts. Here, this is for the node 2D. As you can see, animated sprite. It's just sprite but animated. Audio stream player just to create audio. Bone. Camera 2D camera. Canvas modulate. It's just to create the color of the entire canvas. Just fuck it. Collision shape is basically just to create a collider. Collision polygon 2D. It's like collision shape, but you're flexible. Light 2D. Just create light. Light occluder to occlude the light to create shadow. Yes, explanation. Line 2D. Create a line. Listener just to Okay, I never used this, but this is interesting. Mesh instance to create mesh instance, and so much more. Sprite to create a sprite, skeleton to create a skeleton, path 2D to create a path, path follow 2D to follow the path 2D, particles 2D just to create a particle, position 2D is just a position, raycast 2D is, well, God, I speak too fast. Raycast, and there's so much other stuff. So first, we're gonna start with the very first. And if you want to like search for a certain item like static body 2D, it's right over here. And if you're confused what static body 2D is, it's just a static, it's just a body that is in 2D, but it's static. So as you can see here, it's already been created. But the problem here is that there's a warning. This node has no shape, so it can't collide or interact with other objects. Consider adding a collision shape 2D or collision polygon 2D as a child to define its shape. The one thing unique about Godot is that they actually warned you what's wrong with it. Like they give you out that there's a problem with this, so you need to put this. They don't just tell you, hey, this is wrong, fix it. They tell you, hey, this is wrong, do this instead. It's way better. And so I just do this, type collision, polygon, shape 2D, and then. And here it's another warning sign. A shape must be provided for collision shape 2D to function. Please create a shape of resource for it. So we go here, we click shape, and we click the rectangle shape, and bam! This is the static body 2D. This is the collision that you're seeing right now. It's blue. Yes, we get it. And now let's try to create, let's put itself a sprite. Let's use this icon just in case because I didn't prepare anything else. So within this tingle, we can adjust it to make sure it is as long. But why is it covered? We can just drag it down to modify the Z value. You can drag it like this. And there we go. We have ourselves our very first static body 2D. And even better is that we can actually drag this whole thing around. We can just transform it and put the position at a certain place like this. We can just drag it all anywhere else around. And if you want to duplicate it, just use Control D. Or we can just put it somewhere where like this. And yeah, this is basically how to use the collision select by 2D. God, this is really difficult. Why even? This is and let's just say it to be just only 2 of them for now. 3 of them. Let's just say a 3. So let's try to put a kinematic body 2D. This is a kinematic body 2D. The difference between a static body 2D and a kinematic is just it's moving. Static doesn't move, kinematic does. So within this kinematic body, but the purpose is the same. You also need like these collision shape 2D, and you need to put the sprite in. Let's put a rectangle shape like this. And there we go, it's created. And we can just use the same icon, but here's a fun thing. This icon is .png or .jpeg. It will just immediately call it as a sprite. And we can just set this thing to have like these modifications or changing the size of itself by going to transform and modify the scale. This. And there we go. I think it's too small. Let me just. And there we go. It's just enough size. And once resolving is done, we can now ask, then where is the fun work? Where's the coding part? What's coming now? Well, oh shoot. The coding part is right now. And now if we want to put a code, we can just click here, click this add script button, and here is we can attach a node script. Because there's no script around, we can just type the path or something. But beware, because if the name is similar to just like Node2D, we can Node2D, it's gonna cause the built-in type is not desired. So it's best if we just change it to game. And there we go. This is what the current programming looks like. This is the basic function. As you can see, ready is just to call the node enters and starts, and for process is just gonna happen every delta or every frame. So from here, let's set it to be something like this. Let's set if we want the player to move left and right. So we go to project settings, we go to input map, we type move underscore left, move underscore right. Yes, this is an input map. You don't need to do anything like if this and this, if key this, if key that. No, you can just type this, just type in these words, and you just there. These inputs has already been implemented, and now we just have to add what key that, for example, physical key, joy button, joy axis, or mouse button. What kind of key that's gonna make it, so therefore they became to move left or move right. Let's say for move left, it's gonna be 8. Oh yeah, you need to click the OK manual. You can't click pressing the enter button. And there we go. If you move left, it's A. If you move right, it's D. And if we want to start continuing doing this, let's create a variable. You first type bar, then create a vec, and here I'm gonna call it as a vector 2. So therefore, it will not be counted as anything else. Vector2.0. Why do I do this? Anyway, so if we dare to do this, if input dot is action press, move left, then we do the then we can just click this. This $sign represent as get node, so it's gonna reference to what node we're gonna get here. We'll say this kinematic body dot position dot x negative equal 1. If input dot is underscore action underscore press, move right, then we put in our here. Kinematic body dot position dot x plus equal 1. But what if I erase this one right over here? It's gonna it's not gonna show anything. But then in the here in the Godot engine itself, it's gonna say, hey, error parsing expression, misplaced slash n. And yeah, they just gonna tell you that this is an error. And as you can see, we can just type it in back and it's gonna fix. And then we're gonna save this scene as called node2d. And as you can see here, it's .tscn. That's the current Godot called as one scene. And once we save it, it's going to be implemented over here. And if we want to play it, we do this. We select current. And here it is. It's moving. And yes, the title of the whole project is gonna be as the title of the sold thing. So it's fuck it, I don't fucking care. And yeah, it's gonna be moving left and right. But what do you say you want to move it up and down as well? So go to project settings, move underscore up, move underscore down, and we just do W, key S. Yeah, it's all done. We can just copy this whole thing up, paste it up, then change move up. It's pretty handy. You can just immediately do this, right? Just use your arrow keys, tap, 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 and bam, it's all done. 1, -1, and then we clicked it, and there we go. It's moving smoothly. But what do you say if you want it not become 1? Then we can create a constant speed to be 10. Constant means for name itself is a constant variable. So if you can't modify the constant speed through the coding no matter what, the only way to change it is directly in the coding and the debug mode. In other words, this speed variable will not be able to be modified even if you try to do it at any time. So we can just replace this all to speed. And if I'm correct, the speed is going to be recoded into 10. And there we go. It's going to be so fast. And what's the dip? What the fuck is wrong with my kinematic body, the unsteady body? Why is it not? Oh wait, man, moving slide. But yeah, that's all the things. And what if you say you want to make a 3D game? Just do the same thing. But instead, the difference between 2D and 3D is that in 2D, you're gonna have to use all the blue stuff, while in 3D, you can just use all the 3D stuff. But the problem here is I kind of haven't used 3D too much. I've been mostly using 2D because it's pretty handy and I'm pretty used to it. And I guess this is all I can. I guess you can also do other stuff in here. Like if you want to put some control, and you just erase this. And if you want to put some controls in here, you can try to put like a color rectangle. As you can see, it becomes a color rectangle. You can even modify the colors. But I'm not even sure why. Sometimes it's negate 8 inputs, probably because of a certain reason. I'm not even sure how. But yeah, this is basically how actually all these work. This is how for in 2D, this is how Godot engine usually works. And in this script, you don't have to, you just have to try to code using Python. And because I believe that you all love coding because you joined X-Tech. But let's say I don't like coding. First of all, fuck you. And secondly, you can just use this, visual scripting. Let's get this new script to be, yes, VS.VS. This is what gonna be look like. And if you're confused, you can just right click, you can select all these, and you can also just drag and drop stuff like this and just press ready and position, get position in parent, or you can even add variables. Like let's set the variable to be speed. You can just drag it like this. Yes. Now I have not used this a lot because I'm mostly of a programmer myself, so I just use the GD script all the time. But for the visual scripting, I'm not. So it's best if you dare to watch some YouTube videos. And if you're maybe thinking that since Godot engine is like, although it's version 3.5 or something, and I keep calling that Unity is a boomer, so therefore Godot is something new, so there's not gonna be a lot of tutorials, right? Well, wrong. This is where the fun part can get. If you go to YouTube for a second, and there's a lot of tutorials. Like here, let me type. Don't question what I'm watching, but here, you take a look in Godot engine. There's a lot of people already being creating games using the Godot engine itself. Like there's already a lot right over here. Here, even some of them saying that it's hard. Okay, ignore this stuff. But the one person that I want to point out is this guy, Mrs. So you may, if you're wondering who this guy Mrs. is, Mrs. is a game developer, a pretty well known for a game developer who has done two things. One, he created a game called Raw Flesh, and two, he creates a tutorial videos. He creates tutorial videos so fast, I'm not even asking myself how the hell. So I'm not even gonna complain who this guy is. I mean, take a look at this one video he made. One of his videos, he used the Godot engine, which was a game that I think, where was it? A game in 7 minutes. I forgot what it called. Here it is. It's called How to Make a 3D Platformer in 8 minutes. Literally 8 minutes, 100% 8 minutes. You're not like those YouTubers who's like, here's a small preview of how he looks. This is not 8 minutes. This is 7 minutes 59 seconds. He explained it so fast he didn't even need to ask for clout. This guy is a speedrunner in making in games using Godot. And you can follow his own tutorial. And if you're too lazy, you can just go to it. You can just go below. You can borrow the 3D model, or you can just go click this button and you can go to the script. And here, the script is already been prepared. Like, look at this: extends kinematic body, constant move speed, and if you know what? I'm just gonna try doing this once. I'm just gonna copy this whole thing up. Am I embarrassment? Yes, I am, but I don't even care. So we go here, create 3D. We create a kinematic body, and we just add the collision shape. Shape right over here, and then we also add itself a mesh instance. So a mesh instance is just to create a mesh, and it's more of a shape. So I'm just gonna add a cube mesh like this, and I'm gonna create the shape of a box. And there, it's already prepared. And we just this, and we're gonna call this treat the player. And here I can just, whoop, it's already created. The problem here is that some of the stuff is you don't need, so we can just erase them up. Like you don't need this, you need this. Just erase anything that is gonna say that's an error, and therefore it's done. And if you see here it's gonna be error, just type pass. And just erase everything that you see. Like it's not important. And for example, if you want to set them all to have to be a comment, you can just type Control K, and it's all done. You don't have to do this any complex stuff. And once again, you need to save your spatial stuff. And this is what the player looks like. And now we're gonna add a static body 2D, which is also gonna add a collision shape. And again, another mesh instance. Mesh instance here, let's set it to be another cube mesh. And the collision is also gonna be a box. But the problem here is we're just gonna drag this. Yes, there's a translation. We can just click this thing, drag it below, and then we can just modify the scale. 10, 10. And no one, it's not gonna bother, but it's gonna work. So, wait, why is it not work? Wait, what? And if you see these are the debuggers of stuff, and if there's an error, it's gonna immediately call out what the errors are, like this: get node not found cam base relative to root spatial kinematic body is action move forwards, move backward is not available. So we can just change this to move up and even move down, move left, and move. Oh wait, no, this one's already perfect. Fine. And then when you try this one out, what other errors in here? Oh, jump is not included. We can just always go to here, click type jump, add key, space, and there you go. We have jump. Like I said, it's got easy. And here you're saying that the camera is not exist. Well, oh yeah, we also have to stop this or else it's gonna continue the error. We can always add camera to camera. And there we go, it's already been created. And then we can just create it as because it's runs as, and if we're correct, this is what it looks like. And yeah, this is how you create a game in game. Oh, it's a fall. And there we go, falling to the end of the abyss. And yeah, this is basically how does you make a game using Godot engine. You can, if you want to export it, you can just go to project and you can just click export. And here you can just add a preset to anything. There's Android, iOS, HTML5, Macintosh, Macintosh, Windows, Linux, and what the fuck is UWP? But yeah, if you say you want to create an HTML5, you can just do this. You can just export path, create it. You can just set the path to over here, but I prefer to create my own path, like bleh. And we can just type this as whatever it is, like game, and we can just click export project. And I recommend, I suggest you do not turn on export with debug. I promise you, you're gonna disgust with this thing. So you just do this and you click save, and there we go. It's already done. It's already created. And if you're also wondering about this thing, and this is the general way it looks like, there's a name, description, stuff like that. But here's where's the important part: the main scene. The main scene is also known as the very first scene you're gonna play. And usually the main scene is the no 2D one, which is the 2D ray movie. And if you want to change it, you can just click this one, click open and stuff like that, and it's done. It's fixed. You can even disable to SD out or SD which are, I'm not even sure what these are. I don't use these. And there's so much more. Like if you type in here window, you can modify the window size. You can modify the width, the height. You can see if it's resizable and borderless or not. Here's an example. If I say it to be 1000, yes, this is basically what's gonna happen. And if you want to like to make sure that it doesn't change anything, you can just turn off the resizable and try it again. You can't resize it. It's already fixed like this and it's already done. Welcome to Godot, my friend. And yeah, that's all that you need to know about this Godot engine. Is it that complicated? Well, yes. but also no. You see, it's all depending on how you actually handle all these situations. Do you want to make a game for a shooting top-down shooter game? Sure, it's fine. Do you want to make a horror game? Sure, 2D and 3D is fine. It doesn't matter what kind of game engine you're using, but I prefer using Godot engine because a lot of people are confused if you're using it first. And here, I'm not gonna make sure that you're gonna make sure that not a single one of you get confused. Welcome to Godot. And let's say you wanna close, take a screenshot. Oh, here you go. You can. There we go. It's gonna show that this is a screenshot. Therefore, you don't have to control Alt print screen all the time just to send it to your friend. Hey, there's an error right over here. Please help me. What's wrong with this thing? I've done that multiple times. And so yes, this is how. And I guess that's all I can probably show you. Like these are all the saving. It's actually not that too complicated. It's just depending on how much motivation you have in order to make a game. And if you're actually stuck in something and you can't find it on Google or something like that, don't worry. We have an asset library as well. This asset library, you're probably gonna need internet for these things so you can get access to it. It's a load of stuff, like a load of stuff, like so much stuff. Like I mean, take a look at this. There's even an S Korea core add-on. I'm not even sure what that is. There's an export on. There's even a Pong tool, so you can actually create a Pong so quickly. You can have an animated sprite to animation player converter, which is handy at sometimes. We have a water map and go to awesome splash. I'm not even sure what that is. MIDI player, go to touch input manager. You have so much stuff. We even have it to, if you want to make a graph, you can even use it. You don't have to use Line 2D all the time. And there's so much more. There's even calculator GUI, scratch canvas. Wow, how much? This is a lot of stuff. You can even start drawing in 3D. And if I'm correct, there is actually a support if you want to make a VR game. Yes, it's also even possible. And what's this? We're getting image file from the. Oh, it's not even important. So as you can see, you can create a VR using Oculus Quest VR Toolkit. Fuck you. VR tools, and you can even create an XR tools, which are the AR and VR helper. XR, mixed reality. Why am I remembering that moment? Anyway, yeah, this is actually basically how it's actually work. Right, you can just click on it, and you'll be directed to this pop-up. I said you'll be directed to this pop-up. There we go. And as you can see, you can just click download button, which I'm not gonna click the download because I'm not gonna make a VR game. I'm just gonna do it anyway. And as you can see, it's connecting, requesting, resolving, connecting, and then it's gonna download it. And once you see, these are all the assets gonna be installed. And you can even click the cancel button at any time. Whoop. And you can just cancel it. You don't need to install them all, and you can just cancel it, and then you can just close this thing, and problem solved. Nothing. It's like nothing has ever happened. So that's basically the whole thing that you need to know about Godot. It's actually pretty handy. It's pretty simple, and if we want, and of course, it's a price of $0. It's pretty free, and because it's open source. And yeah, this is the end of I guess my X share. So within this last 7 minutes, 6 minutes, last 6 minutes, I guess I can open for questions and answers to anyone if you want to ask. And like Wangpei?
Hi everyone. So, any questions from you? You can type your questions in the chat box, or if you want to ask, you can also open your mic. Any questions?
Okay, there's a question in the chat box from Tan Jiahui. So she asked, have you done any games on Godot engine, and can we see the examples of your work?
I know some of you are gonna ask that question, so just give me a second. There are several games that I have ever made on the Godot engine. Yes. Okay. I can't believe I'm doing this. So if you take a look, if you go to this link, is it here? This chat. So if you go to this link, and yes, that link, you're gonna be led into my its.io page, which is basically all the games that I've made. As you can see, the very first, and then let's see how many one, two, three, four. The very first 6 games are made using the Godot engine, which are, I'm gonna take a screenshot of all the games that I've made, which are these. Bye. And yes, those 6 first games, I made it all using the Godot engine. And I'm just gonna share a screenshot of what the games looks like, and I'm not gonna play them because I don't want to waste too much time of it.
Okay, thanks, Jiahui, for that very interesting question. Yeah, you guys can access the link and see through the screenshot that Stephen has shared. So are there any other questions? You can on your mic if you're brave enough to ask, or you can just type in the chat box. Yeah, we'll give a few more minutes if you have any questions. Okay, I think there's no one else that wants to ask question, but if you guys have any future questions they want to ask, you can always just approach Stephen personally. Yeah, and you may message him. Yes. So thank you so much, Stephen, for that very interesting session. Yes, everyone give him a round of applause. Yes. And so we'll move on to end our session for tonight. So first off, if you are not included in our WeChat group where we share most of our upcoming events, everything, so all of our information we share through this group. So if you're not in this group, you may scan the QR code here and join our WeChat group. It's only X-Tech members WeChat group, yes. Next, please. So thank you everyone for joining our session tonight. Please stay tuned for all our upcoming events and sign up for our LD, the leadership program that we had described just now. Yes, and follow our social media pages, which are all listed down here, our Instagram, our Facebook, our LinkedIn, and our YouTube page. So most of our events that are conducted online are recorded, so you may access all of them through our YouTube page. And that's all for tonight. So thank you everyone for joining us. We really hope to see more of you guys in our upcoming events. And do sign up for our leadership program, please. Okay, thank you everyone. Have a great night. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye, bye-bye, bye-bye everyone. Good
Bye.
night. Good luck for assignments.
Bye everyone. Have a nice day.
Thank you for joining us.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you.
See you. Have a good night.